you. We connected now? I don't know why it's... So it's a new phone. New phone. We'll see how it goes here. I can't see anything of this. All right. 1:55 p.m. Eastern Time. You destroy. Hey, how's it going? Hey, I'm going to try and respond to stuff as I can, but, being safe and driving and whatnot. I've got the phone set up right near my rear view, so every time I check the rear view, I should be able to see what's going on. And anyway, I don't know if you guys saw the video that I just posted about the Cobalt ratcheting wrenches. So somebody already emailed me saying, hey, these have been a big thing on whatchamacallit, on BrickSeek a couple months ago. That they, as I said, they'd already done the rounds, but they weren't in stock anymore. Well, yeah, that's kind of the point. And it wasn't like my store had just a few of them. It was, I don't know if you can see it here. Here's the receipt. Oh, where's the camera there? If you guys can try to read it. Because I know somebody would be like, it didn't happen. I'll take a picture of this and post it later. But I would have taken a picture this morning, but it was I left it in the truck, and the wife took my truck this morning. When she had to volunteer at the school. All right, I need my shades. So anyway, I don't know. I figured that the ratchet wrenches couldn't be that expensive, considering I'd had some from Harbor Freight back in the day, and apparently they got lost in the move. They're probably still in storage or a box or somewhere. And I was putting this roof rack on. The roof rack, we needed crossbars. So we had the regular bars on the Jeep, but we needed the crossbars before we could put the actual cargo basket on. And I looked around. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on them, and I saw some generic ones. And I know you guys are always looking for, like, my other phone. I don't know why it's better reception than the other phone. Anyway, so I believe size fits most kind of thing. And always the case with those sort of things is that what you give up or what you get in low price, you give up in terms of, having to mod it and fix it later. Let's see whether that comes. Lost signal there for a bit. Yeah, don't worry. So anyway, the bolts that hold on the crossbars, they're Allen head bolts. So they clamp onto that crossbar, and then the bottom of the bolt, of course, is facing down because, of course, that's where you put it. And even with a low-profile Allen wrench, it was too close to the roof of the car because, of course, the top of the Jeep, it's a Jeep Renegade, is very low profile for everything. They got to make everything look all streamlined and stuff these days. So it was too low profile to get an Allen wrench in there. So I swapped them out for some standard bolts, hex-headed, kind of bolts, so I could get at from the side rather than having to use an Allen wrench from underneath. And people go away. No one wants to talk to you. Anyway, so, but the little bracket that they nest up into only left a space about that wide to get the wrench in there, and you could just barely move it. You can move like one, probably a 10-degree arc, maybe 15 degrees. And I just got so frustrated because the clamp on it was so big, the bars were so thick compared to what these were designed for, that you could just get the first couple threads in this thing, and you needed to really ratchet it down to keep it from moving. And I'm like, I'm gonna be at this thing all day. And I'm like, you know what? I've been wanting to replace those ratcheting wrenches, so I went to Lowe's because it's the nearest hardware store to where I live. Lowe's is a hop, skip, and a jump away. It's 15-20 minute drive to Harbor Freight or whatnot. And I figured, the Cobalt brand, the hand tools are pretty good. I know they've been phasing a bunch of them out, but we'll see what we can find. Maybe there'll be something on sale. And we looked around and they're all like $60. I'm like, yeah, these are nice and all. The flex head ones, everything that's nice, but I'm not paying $60 for, a non-full set of ratchets, So anyway, I look around and I've about given up. And I'm like, well, I'm here. I might as well see what else is here. And I walk around and I walk way down to the end. And I don't know if your Lowe's is like mine, but you know, the hardware section, they always have it off by itself with that one way in, one way out, so people can't just, you know, I don't know, grab stuff and run out. I don't know what they think they're doing with that. But anyway, all the way down at the end, near like the nailers and the other miscellaneous stuff that doesn't, you know, sell as much, they had some other Cobalt hand tools. And they had signs up saying the price, but it wasn't like, hey, big closeout deal or anything like that. And these said $19.99. So the hold on just a second here. Left to look for the go west. The spammers have got a hold of my phone number and are just beating it to death. Sorry about that. And so anyway, so I grabbed them, came up and paid for them and everything. I didn't even think about them. I mean, even with the fact of her having to like enter the SKU and stuff. And then I was sitting there today thinking, these are a really nice set. You know, they're well made. They've got a good finish for them. They fit nicely. I like the little color stripe on it, so you can easily identify the metric from the SAE. And I'm like, you know, a friend of mine was saying that he wanted to get a set. So I went to send him a link, and I noticed these aren't online anywhere. I finally found that set on Amazon for $80-some. But anyway, that's what made me realize this morning that I should probably do a video on this and let you guys know about it. And of course, you know, I'm trying to get out of town and head down to California. Yoda, hey, how's it going? Made in Taiwan. Now, these are made in China. I had the feeling that they were made in Taiwan by the finish. And so I actually looked on the back of the packaging. It doesn't say on the tool, of course. And I checked on the packaging, and it's made in China. But, you know, this is definitely, you know, probably their medium tier set. Because, you know, the flex head stuff, that's going to be higher end stuff. And this isn't flex head, but it has the... besides the ratcheting, it has, oh, just sure, come into my lane. I'm not doing anything here. Sorry, somebody in one of those little stupid Cadillac hatchback things. You know, the one that looks like a little shoe like Buick has. Oh, I hate those things. Who spends that much on a little tiny hatchback? Anyway, so where is it? Oh, anyway, so I tried to send over it, and that's when I realized that these things were a closeout deal. So anyway, that's the story with this morning, and trying to get on the road. And here it is, 11 o'clock. I was trying to leave 2 hours ago. That's okay. I only have to drive 4 hours there, wait around at Kaiser for an hour, and then drive 4 hours back. So let's see here. It's 11 o'clock, hour away this 40. That means I'm probably going to get home around 10. Joy. Yeah, but I'm not doing the drive tomorrow. My wife was trying to talk me into, up until the last minute, was trying to tell me that, oh, you need to wait. You can just go tomorrow. You can leave bright and early. Driving back on a Friday is getting us. Try to get everyone's going to Vegas on Friday. And there's only, from Southern California to Vegas, there's one road in, one road out. And I would be sitting in traffic for 10 hours. I'm not doing that. And even when you're not just sitting in traffic, you have people, you know, when the traffic's moving, you got people trying to get to Vegas because like, we're going to do Vegas, baby. And they're flying 100 miles an hour down the interstate. Inevitably, some moron gets killed every weekend, I think. Trying to do the, you know, Vegas and back in one night kind of thing. They'll try to drive to Vegas Friday night or Saturday night, then stay up all night partying and gambling, not even getting in a hotel room, and then drive back the next day. Oh, I guess at one point, you know, I guess I was 20, you know, 20 something at one point in my life. Probably would have thought that something like a great idea, but these days I can't even fathom doing that. Anyway, so right now I'm just trying to get out of Vegas. And let me see if I can give you guys a view of, is there a way to swap this around here? Let's see here. Is this it? All right, there we go. Sounds like your last trip to Montana. Yeah, we're going to be headed up to Montana here in about, this is the last week of March, so last week, so just barely over 2 months. So end of May, we'll be packing the whole shop up and repositioning in Montana for the summer, or at least most of the summer. And so we're gonna have lots of fun with that one. We'll be working on the house and fixing up that house. We got the 4th oldest house in the state, so we got plenty of work to do there. It was my wife's father's house, and the man was a master carpenter. He could build about anything. He did amazing work, but he was that typical guy who worked on everyone's house but his own. And I mean, I've seen some of the additions he put on houses, some of the stuff he built, beautiful stuff, but his house needs a lot of love. We're thinking about building that. Guys, new phone, and supposedly it's better phone. This is a Moto G6, and we had a Moto G5 before, and I think we've lost connection there 4 times now since I left the house. Weird. It never had those problems with the other one. And I get reception in parts of town with this phone that I'd never get reception with in the other phone. So I figured, oh, this will be a lot better doing this. 4 or 5 times. Yeah, it sucks. Anyway, we're going to be probably building a deck outside for some more living space at the house up there. And then, of course, we got some more pipes to work on. So we're doing some plumbing. That'll be lots of fun. We got to redo the sewer connection. We had an issue with it last year. We had to put a Band-Aid in. It got us through the season, but with all the freezing and everything else, I'm guessing that it's gone to hell again. So we'll have to fix that. All right, come on here. This truck behind me is trying to get over, and I'm trying to get out of here. Probably getting over too soon. I can never remember how this whole interchange down here works. For those of you who are interested, the strip is right over that way. So we're coming in just south of the strip, filming with a potato. So we basically just did a loop halfway around the west side of Vegas. Anybody who knows anyone who's renting a house or renting out a house in Vegas, let me know. Our landlord is selling their house, or selling her house, and she's retiring, trying to get out of the landlording business. And and she offered us a great price on it if we wanted to buy it, but I don't want to buy in this market right now, and I definitely don't want to buy in that part of Vegas. I don't want to sound like pretentious or even counter-pretentious, but hoity-toity, is that the right way? It's a gated neighborhood, but it's not even like a real gated neighborhood. It's an automated gate, so like anybody can follow you in and out. Are you getting over? Get over then. All right, let me slip in behind this guy. There we go. All right, then. So that's what always throws me off. You get this use the car rental, and you think this is for rental, but actually this lane is for heading south to Los Angeles. Yeah, guys, if you find some of those wrenches, let me know. I did think about maybe going back to the store and buying the rest of them. Anybody who wanted them, I could send them to you. But I got too much going on today. I said I was supposed to be out of here by 9, and it's 11, and I'm just leaving town. And since I'm going down to LA, that means in 4 hours, it's going to be rush hour. Great. Prologis. I don't know who that is. All right. This is the view leaving Vegas. Exciting, huh? Everyone wants to see the view coming into Vegas. There we go. Hey, the dog's in the house. How's it going? All right, hold on. I gotta merge here without killing us all. Whoa! See, hold on, everyone. My other hand's coming off. This thing's been having a problem. So you guys are gonna get stuck on this one. Sorry, it's the lower stand and the view's not as good. Look at the bird dropping. It's just the way it is. I don't know what that stand. I love these magnetic stands. At least the one I bought. I bought a cheaper set to use for the secondary one. I have one on this one you're on now is on my dash, and the other one I put up on the window next to the rear view. And that's what I've used. It probably lasted like 6 months, and I don't know if this other one would have lasted as long or longer or what, but it's just standing up and down, so it doesn't have as much torsion on it, shearing stress. Sorry, trying to get around the semi here. That big casino over on the left-hand side, that's South Point. That used to be like the last casino before leaving town. Now the M is. I know for those of you who've never been to Vegas or thinking about coming to Vegas, it may seem really exciting to have all these casinos here. But once you've been here longer than 6 months, you pretty much ignore them. Unless you want all your money to go away. It's they're fun for like date night when you got a sitter for the kids. You want to go out and do something fun with the wife. But other than that, we got a decent amount of traffic trying to get out of town. Maybe it'll thin out by the time we reach the south end of town. Maybe not. There's a nice Miller Bobcat welder. Sorry, just looking at plumbing. MyVegasPlumber.com. Oh, he's driving a Ram. The ProMaster. I wish they'd sell stuff like that Ram, or you get it in the in a passenger one. But you don't see them these days. Walmart had an awesome tool selection. Not. Yeah. Believe it or not, that Walmart that I went to, I had, lots of people were commenting like, wow, I can't believe how many tools that Walmart has. That's actually the pretty crappy Walmart in our area of town. That's why it's all behind glass and everything else. I need to take you guys up to the one near Centennial, the newer Walmart. They, I don't know if they have more tools or it's just better displayed. But it definitely seems like there's more tools there. Let me get over here. All right. Anyway, so what other videos we got coming up? I gotta get to all the stuff that people have sent me. I've got that endoscope review, and we was it the lights? Well, the lights have been waiting on the roof rack, which was waiting on the crossbars to come in. So the crossbars came in, we put those on. We put the roof rack on. The roof rack install was super easy, and apparently some people are buying that Reese roof rack. So it comes in three pieces: the front piece, the back piece, and the center piece is about 25% of the total length. And some people, because it's so cheap to close out right now, are buying two of them and just using the front and back and two of the centerpieces, using the extra centerpiece to extend it and make it larger, which I don't see any reason why that wouldn't work. And the, and you're still at $90, you're still cheaper than pretty much any other roof rack out there. So not a bad idea. The only reason I get tools is because, Walmart, they got the Stanley tools, and Stanley are not bad tools. They're not, they're not Snap-on, they're not SK, but I would say your average Stanley is on par with a lot of the stuff you get at Harbor Freight and whatnot. And the only issue then is if something breaks, how do you get warranty on it? And actually, that's a video I'm working on, which is how the warranties work with all these different companies, because there's a lot of companies out there that offer some fantastic warranties, but trying to use the warranty is a real pain in the you-know-what. So it's gonna take a while, because I'm trying to get people to call me back and stuff, and because I'm trying to get actual official responses rather than just, hey, well, the website kind of says this, but in reality, what's their policy on it? So we'll have to see on that. Just complaining. Well, that's the other thing is, even if they do exchange it, doing anything at the service desk at Walmart is, I'd probably rather spend a day at the DMV. My wife will go. She's the one who will well, I'm going to return this to Walmart. Hope she's not listening. But because I'm I'll buy it and then have her return it, because I hate dealing with customer service at Walmart, because it makes me want to light people on fire. And the attitude of the people there. I don't know how. Honestly, I was about to say I don't know how they can keep their jobs, but I'm pretty sure that Walmart hires those people specifically to do that job, just to get people like me to be like, well, it's only $10, and I'd rather spend $10 to not have to go deal with their customer service. And I think that's what they're counting on, trying to make it as painful as possible so that they don't have to warranty stuff or do returns. So I'm just navigating this little transition there. The concrete here is a little squirrely. You changed from the ribbed concrete to the flat concrete, and it makes the truck, the back end, get a little, see, it's doing its little jig there. Let me get over to the older stuff. When it rains, that stuff's great, but other than that, it's not the best thing in the world. Just yell loudly. All right. What do we got here? Diesel $2.99. That's a decent price. Alien fresh jerky. Text alien to 72000. What does that? Like, I send me coupons or something? World's largest terribles, 12 miles ahead. Is that a thing? Well, world's largest chevron. Again, is that a thing? Do people, we have the second largest chevron in the world? Is there somebody touting that? Anyway. Somebody just won that lottery, the Powerball thing, didn't they? I was going to say, anybody want me to pick up some lottery tickets for them? gas prices in Vegas. Oh, what is the gas price in Vegas right now? I'm sorry, but I don't pay attention when I buy gas. I go to the places that I know are cheapest, and that's it. Except for down the street from our house, there is still a place where they come out and they pump the gas for you. And it's one of these big gas stations. There's an oil change place there. They do a car wash and auto detailing, and there's a full service center with gambling inside, of course. And it's got to be 12 pumps or something there. And they hire, and it's all girls. It's all good-looking 20-something-year-old girls in tight-fitting T-shirts and spandex running around pumping gas. And we're right near a section. Do I gamble? I don't gamble, sorry. Check out Vegas Low Roller if you want to find out about the slots and gambling. I met him. He's a nice guy. He's got a good channel, and he knows all about the slots in town. But anyway, yeah, exactly. We live right on the border with an area of town that is a retirement village, and it's a huge, huge retirement village. So I'm guessing that there's a lot of people who are older and don't want to get out and pump gas, so that's why they do that there. And then why the all young girls? Probably for all those older retired guys who they can sit there in their car and not have to get out and watch the show as they get their gas pumped. They're always busy. I'll give them that much. Yeah, exactly. I can't really say anything about that. I used to work for a company called AFC. That's Automotive Finance Corporation. And they were the financing department for the second largest auto auction in the U.S., Odessa Auctions. And Odessa would give us floor space at their, basically counter space at their auctions, because we would finance what they call floor planning the cars at auction. So dealers, mostly lower end dealers, would come in and get financing. The guys who did this were all the buy here, pay here lot. Bob's buy here, pay here lot. As long as you have a job in a checking account, we'll finance any vehicle. Those kind of guys. And inevitably, the people they hired at every single location to run that booth, the financing booth, were all younger, well-endowed young ladies who would sit there and flirt shamelessly with these crotchety old, car sales guys. And they did pretty good as far as the business. So their business. And here was the hilarious part. So the guys doing this, the company is a overtly Christian company. And I'm talking very religious. Sorry, I'm watching a helicopter throw up a dust storm over here. Hold on, let me. If you guys can see that dust storm right there, that's a helicopter. He just landed, or just, I guess, to the right. What is he doing? He just fly down there to make a mess? Well, Area 51's not too far away, so black helicopters and all that. And we've had, all this week, man, we've had, the past 2 weeks, every day, right over our house, black helicopters, every day. Black Hawks, just in twos, going from the Air Force Base straight west towards Mount Charleston, which is not towards Area 51, actually, unless they're flying a circuitous route. Anyway, But anyway, so the company I work for, this was the kind of company that on Wednesdays would do Bible study at lunch in the lunchroom, and on Friday, every Friday, the CEO would send out a mass voicemail that he pre-recorded, talking about how the company was doing. He's like, sales were up, and the company was booming at this point in time. And so every week it was like, we beat, we got record sales, we beat last week, this is awesome, all this growth. And this reminds me of the story of Jacob in the Bible. And it was a 15-20 minute voicemail, and half of it would be preaching, sermon stuff, because he was also a deacon in his church. And oh, sorry you couldn't see the helicopter. But anyway, it just, I don't know. I'm a religious man. I have my own faith. I don't think I need a corporation to be preaching to me while I'm at work. It's your interpretation of the Bible, my interpretation of the Bible. I don't need that. But it's just funny because this, the same company that would then hire, young ladies to go and entice guys to take out loans and to probably spend more money than they should have been. It was still, you're probably right. It was the black helicopters, their diffusing field. What's funny? I was in, where was I? I was in Virginia. I'm just driving around. I was there for a few months, and I went out for a drive out in the countryside in Virginia, and I was near a place called Mount Storm. I had no idea that I was there. I was just tooling around, and all of a sudden, I'm looking at my GPS. All of a sudden, the dot on my GPS just goes crazy, goes completely off the road into the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, what? What's going on with my GPS? And a few miles later, I come around a corner, and there's a sign for the turnoff, Mount Storm, what was it? Not NSA, but Homeland Security, Mount Storm, West Virginia, or Virginia, authorized personnel only, blah, blah, blah. And the GPS at that point had to be 20 miles off. And I went past the place, and as I went past it, my GPS started getting more accurate and more accurate. And about 10 miles later, it was back to being spot on. So, just so you know, the government does mess with your GPS. When they don't want you to know where you are, they're not going to let you know. 7 Magic Mountains, next exit. We got terribles. Alright. I'm not going to stop here, but I have to stop for gas in Prim. Or maybe I should stop at the largest Chevron. So, I don't know. I'd like to try and make it to, what do you call it, over in the Baker. If I could make it to Baker, there's a couple restaurants there I can get some lunch. Waze seems better at GPS. They do. I tried Waze this past summer. We were tooling around in Montana in some areas I wasn't familiar with, and I tried using Waze, and there were things about, what I liked about Waze that Google Maps wasn't doing is that it would show you the speed limit. And that's the one thing. When I'm in an area that I'm not used to, I'm often looking around and not paying as much attention to the speed limit signs as I am to what's going on around me. And I really wanted something that had the speed limit on it, especially in Montana, because it can, at some points you could be like, it's, 85 miles an hour or something ridiculous. And then you get onto a different road and it's 35. So I tried using that, but I didn't like the interface. I got to the point where I could not take the interface so much, I switched back to Google Maps. I think the best one so far I've used is my TomTom, But then I have to have a dedicated GPS. Entering it's not as easy. On my phone, I just press the button and I tell it what address I want, and it figures it out. It's like lazy, I guess. Oh, what's going on here? Yeah, Waze does show a lot of the, I don't know about the potholes, but I did know it has shown police stuff. But I'll be honest, every time it told me that there was a police officer coming up or something, there was never a cop there. The cop had moved on by the time I got there and had the notification, so it was never very useful to me. And I'm 50 years old. I've driven our highways enough that I know where cops sit. They always sit in the same place. They're always doing the same thing. And, as long as you're not crazy and driving, 90 or 100 miles an hour, and like, hey, there's an overpass coming, and or there's you can always tell where there's going to be an overlap with the highway where they can do a turnaround or something. You learn to see where they show up. Hey, Joe Smith is here. Hey, Joe, how's it going? Saturation patrols. Probably, we see that in California. I'm so glad to be out of California. You have no idea. We're about to go back into California. You're going to hear me complain all about it. I hate being in California. You just feel going across the border, you can feel your rights just getting stripped away from you. And don't get me started on this whole crap with, nope, I almost got into the politics, trying to keep the politics off the channel. Need to be a good bear, not delve into that again. Make sure you don't have any high capacity magazines. Heck, you can't even bring a firearm into California unless you can prove that you're transporting it through to another state. I wonder what the policy would be knowing that I'm coming back into my own state. Like I'm transporting, I've got it, I'm coming back. Because if I'm transporting it through the state, I can do that. I don't know. California changes the laws, and they're getting worse and worse ever. They're not even pretending to honor the Constitution at this point. They're just being blatant with it. And now they're at a tit for tat with New York and some of the other states to see who can come out with the most outrageous laws. And it's just gone beyond, for a while they were trying to make the appearance of, we're just trying to abide by the law. Remember the whole thing, like, we're not coming after your guns? Yeah, they've given up on that. They're like, we're totally coming after your guns. You don't need them. We're not, and they've even given up on the whole argument, like, we're going to try and argue with facts, because they know they don't have any. So it's all just, we don't want you to have guns. They're not safe. Well, facts say, we don't care about facts. A rational person knows, so they're not even trying to have a reasonable discussion anymore. They've just decided that they're right and everything else doesn't matter. So, my view is that it all comes down to, they don't want, a person with a gun has self-determination. They feel that they can protect themselves and they don't rely on the government, and they're not as worried about what the government has to say. Because if you're not sitting there going, gee, I hope the government protects me, then you're not so worried about whether the government gets enough money for their programs and everything else. And then if you're not doing that, then you're not likely to vote Democrat. And I grew up as a lifelong Democrat, from Iowa, unions and farmers and all that stuff. Any way they can find to pay people off. I called Lowe's customer service to have them send me the bolts, but they refused. Oh, you're talking to somebody else there. I'm like, I don't know anything about bolts. I know that I need new bolts on my truck. Anybody want to help me do a manifold swap? I've got a couple, at least one broken manifold bolt on my my Ram here, which is pretty typical for a Ram 1500 Hemi over 60,000 miles, which of course just happens to be where the warranty stops, which is odd because all the other vehicles of the same year were 100,000 miles, and the Hemi is 60,000. It's almost like they knew. Anyway, so I'm going to switch over to the shorty headers here at some point, but that's quite a project. Yeah, it's usually the ones closest towards the driver's compartment. They have a hard time with the way they design the manifold. It's twofold. The way they design the manifold, I guess it's threefold. They design the manifold in such a way that all the heat collects at the back and there's not good cooling on the rear cylinders, or not as good as there is on the forward cylinders. Secondly, they used 3 different types of metal in that area, which causes for uneven expansion. And then they used undersized bolts. And between the 3 of them, they crack. And my understanding is, at least the excuse I heard from an engineer was, they did that rather than having it strip out the threads in the block. Which, okay, yeah, I can see that'd be good. How about just design it so that it's better cooled, or so that you don't have any of the issues that lead up to that point? What do I know? Anyway, the fix that I've heard is that you got to switch over to shorty headers on it, because if you just replace the bolts in another 40 to 50,000 miles, they're going to crack on you again. And if you're lucky, they cracked right at the head. So you take the other bolts off, you get it off, you can get in there with some vice grips and get it out. If you're not lucky, there's just a little nub right in there, and you got to weld a stud onto it to get it out. So my main problem is I'm a big guy, and there's not a lot of room in that engine bay. So if it was something working up top or something, I could probably get to it easier. But to do it properly, you have to come at it from through the wheel well. You take the wheel off, take the shroud off, and come at it from the bottom side there. And I'm just not as young as I used to be. Contorting my way in there, I don't think it's going to be a good thing. And I think it's probably a little too much for the younger bear to tackle. Send him in there with my welder to weld up that stud. Pull it. Come on, you can do it. Stop. I don't care if your arm hair is burning. Be man. Builds character, right? Doesn't matter how hard I hit the like button. Wait, what was that? Come on, stop it. Yeah, take off your wheel. Yeah, I could just take the whole front end apart, right? Make it nice, easy access. Problem is, here's the other issue. This is my daily driver. So if I tackle this, I gotta get it done essentially the same day. We used to have, I always believed in before, well, I still believe in having 3 cars, because that way, if one goes down, or you send one in for service, or you're working on one, you have a third, you're still at 2 vehicles. And the wife and I, she volunteers at school a lot, she does a lot of stuff for the kids, they've got a pass to one of these places called Gravity. It's one of these trampoline house places that she takes the kids to, so they can, and so she's always off running. And if you could see right over there to the right, where is it? Over there is one of the solar farms. There's 4 of them over there, and these are the big reflector kind. So they're not solar cells. They're mirrors all pointing up to that tower, and the tower heat at the tower is just like stupendously redonkulous kind of heat. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a heat haze shimmer around the tower, and any bird that flies through it gets instantly, Kentucky Fried. Well, I guess rotisserie grilled probably. One. I think the birds. Nope. Anyway, so yeah, California, right? What do we got here? We got an RV with, is that an auto trailer? Painted to match. Look at that. That's slick. Looks like the RV needs some new paint. Alright, how's my gas? I should, 80 miles. I hope I make it to Baker. I should have stopped back there. Gas would probably be cheaper. I don't know, that was stupid. Well, we'll see how this goes. Buffering. Are we losing you? That was. Is it? Can anyone hear me anymore? Am I just wasting my time here talking? Rotisserie bear, nice. Now I just with the issues we've had with this phone so far. Thank you guys. All right. I had hoped that with this new phone that we'd be able to do this a lot easier without having to go through all the buffering like we did when we drove to California last time. But if it becomes an issue, we'll just give up on it. Anyway, yeah, the solar farms are chugging today. Anyway, what was I talking about before? Oh, we're talking about the different stuff I got to do reviews on. I got to get the lights. Man, putting the lights on that Jeep is going to be fun. I got to come up with mounting brackets. I've got the lights that they sent me before that we're going to put on there. They're kind of like 6-inch style pod lights. And then we've got the ones that I just showed in the video about the Cobalt. Those are smaller pods. So my thought was to put the smaller ones on the side and the larger ones in back. I need to get a full light bar for the front. I should probably measure it and figure out. I don't know if Harbor Freight makes a big enough light bar for the front of that thing. And then sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how the traffic is flowing right now for the check-in station. Yes, for those of you who haven't been on this trip, did you know you have to go through immigration here going into California? Every other state, I don't know, is there another, you know, Arizona might have it. No, I don't think maybe they used to. I think they used to have it. But I've driven from here down to Arizona a few times, and I've never gone through a checkpoint there. Maybe they only have it coming from the east or something, like from New Mexico. But this is an quote-unquote agricultural check-in station. And like that guy with the trailer in front of us, they're going to stop him and make him have a conversation about what's in his trailer. And since I'm not towing anything, they'll probably just wave me through. But when I've had my trailer behind me, they've forced me to stop and have a conversation. Even when there was nothing in the trailer, they had to go and look. Let's see here. Is there even anyone here? There's no one there. There is literally no one in the booth. Run, bear, run. Run! There was no one in the booth. How much? They spent millions of dollars. They diverted the highway. We got 3 lanes here, 2 lanes off to the right for truckers. So there is another one of these check-in stations about 50 miles inland from here. And they built it there because there's other ways to cross this border before you can go up through Pahrump, and you can go down through Searchlight and stuff. There's ways around this border if you wanted to get through. So before they built it further inland because at that point it was kind of a choke point. And then I have no idea why, they spent millions of dollars to build this new checkpoint. It boggles the mind how California justifies these things. It's got to be just for the truckers. It's got to be so they could charge more money or something from the truckers, because they're not going to, there's no way that this in any way is stopping people, not pedestrians, but regular, drivers, because they don't even stop us. And at the older booth, the checkpoint, they would never stop me unless I had a trailer or if I was in the RV. Hold on. Is it a state of California point or a border patrol? No, it's a state of California agricultural checkpoint. They, back in, I don't remember when it was 50 or 60 years ago, the California orange crop almost got wiped out by fruit flies. And they claimed the fruit flies came in from out of state, people bringing fruits and vegetables in from out of state that were contaminated because California didn't naturally have these fruit flies, and the fruit flies devastated the orange crop. Well, they were able to recover somehow, and so they set up all these checkpoints so if you're coming into the state, they would ask you, they used to stop and ask, do you have any fruits or anything you want to declare, blah, blah, blah. And you'd say yes or no, and if you had fruits, they would take them from you and throw them away, and that was that. But, because I can remember as a kid with my grandparents crossing the border a few times, I think once with my dad, and I can remember going through those checkpoints as a kid, and they did actually talk to you and stuff. But as an adult, and I moved here, I think I was 30 years old when I moved to California, and it was 2000 when I moved to California, and it's 19 years ago, and I've never once in a car or truck, only in my RV and only when pulling a trailer, been stopped to ask if I had anything. And when we were in the RV, they did kind of grill us, like, you don't have anything back there in the refrigerator? And we're like, no, the refrigerator's turned off, so you don't have anything. We understood you the first time, and we're well aware of what a fruit or vegetable is. But yeah, that's the only time they've ever had any issues. Okay, my messenger. Yeah, yeah, I don't. I mean, I got stopped. I've gone to Mexico and back a few times, and no one ever asked me coming from Mexico if I had any vegetables or fruit. They asked me if I had anything to declare, and they, eyeballed my car and stuff and shined a flashlight in the back. And what was I driving? I think I had a minivan, and that's why they were shining the light in the back. And I'm like, no, and they grilled me about it, but I'm like, still nothing. But yeah, they didn't have, it wasn't like, it was weird. I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, spending millions of dollars on that. The produce thing is they're worried about allegedly they're worried about another fruit fly infestation or some other quote unquote invasive species coming in and destroying the agricultural crop. To be fair, about half the state's landmass is devoted to agriculture. When I was growing up, it was always talked about, like, I grew up in Iowa and Nebraska, and like, it's the breadbasket, everything's grown here, blah, blah, blah. And it's all grown in California these days. I mean, trust me, Iowa, Nebraska, they still grow a lot of stuff there, but California just pumps the stuff out like a giant food factory. It's insane. But anyway, back to what we're talking about. Installing those lights. So I got to come up with mounting brackets for the lights. But the hard part is going to be the wiring harness. So one of the other things they sent me, and actually it's the thing I'm actually pretty excited about. In fact, if any of you have ever seen the latest setups in a police car, at least in California, they have up near the driver's visor, there's a control panel that controls all the lights and sirens and stuff. It's got 8 buttons, maybe more. And it's a little panel that goes down to a control box, and you run everything through that control box, and you can put different icons. It comes with a bunch of little peel-off icons that stick on the buttons, and they're backlit buttons, and you can, control all the lights on your rig. So I've got the small pod lights, the larger pod lights. I have under truck lights, the rock climbing lights or whatever. And then I need to get a roll bar for the front. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, at least 4 different light systems to turn on. Maybe we can come up with some other fun stuff. If you guys have any other ideas, things we can run through there. So that'll be fun and exciting. Sorry for losing signal. You guys just lose everything I talked about the last 5 hours. Anyway, so we're climbing the summit here. I think the last time I live streamed through here, the last time I live streamed through here, we're going off-roading. And the time before that, it was actually snowing. Let me get over. This Volkswagen. There we go. All right. Gas says I got a range of 47 miles. I don't think that's going to get me to Baker. I might have to stop at the gas station right before it. That would suck. Baker is, here's the sign. Oh, look at that. 33 miles to Baker. And I got 48 allegedly on the gas tank. We're going to coast in on fumes, grab some alien jerky, and make maybe some Greek food. If you guys don't know what Baker is the little tiny town that's more of a giant gas station in the middle of Death Valley, and it's famous for the world's largest thermometer. Yeah, I kid you not. It's a 50-foot, I don't know how tall it is. It's tall thermometer, and you're at one of the lowest points. I think one of the lowest points on Earth. I think Death Valley is the lowest place on Earth. Anyway. If you ever get a chance to drive around Death Valley, it's pretty cool. It's, I wouldn't go in August if I were you. It's not cool at all in August. Yeah, Volkswagen is the largest car company, I think, in the world right now. Volkswagen, I think, I don't remember now. It's either Volkswagen or Toyota. They always swap, and then you've got the Renault Nissan alliance thing that jointly together, because they're selling cars together, they're at number 2. But if they were split up, they would be way behind them. Alrighty. Come on. Why are we doing 60 miles an hour? We're in the middle of the desert. Not a damn thing you're going to hit. And we're doing, well, we're up to 65. All right. I got kicked out. Okay, kicked out was an exaggeration. I was told that if I wanted to stay, I had to stop filming. And they've and I did a video of and that they'd forgotten about it, and that they honestly were sorry, and that they wanted us to keep recording. All they did was they asked that we be respectful of the privacy and the shopping experience for other shoppers, which I take to basically mean like, don't put other people in it, don't record voices of other people talking. We're good. All right. And we're stream. I'm Red the Bear. Starting. If this keeps buffering, I'm going to give. We'll keep trying. Joe, did you do this? Is this your fault? Are you sucking up all the bandwidth again? Everyone blame Joe. He's hitting the like button too much. The lowest natural point is the Dead Sea in Jordan. Fine. Be that way. Probably right. I've always wanted to go there. Go to the Middle East. Maybe one day. Anyway. Oh, wow. There's some big snow on the mountains over there. I don't think you guys can see it, though. Camera's just not good enough. Oh, and I did bring my my new camera, so if I run across a new Harbor Freight or something, we can go do another Shop With Me video. Still trying to learn all the bells and whistles on it. What? I don't know what that was about. Anyway. Oh, my battery's low. Great. Somebody asked what I'm driving. I just saw a glimpse of it. No, I'm driving a Ram 1500, a 2016 quad cab Bighorn. So just a second here while I try to get the dang plug in. Come on. Hopefully it won't kill us all. So the wife took my truck this morning, and my phone uses USB-C. And I was planning, if I'd left earlier, I was going to take her Jeep. So anyway, she pulled the cable out and put it in the Jeep. Then I had to grab it, put it in, so it wasn't all plugged in. Anyway, we got juice now. We're good. Oh, look, the rest area is open. No, I'm not driving a Fiat. The wife drives the Fiat. She's got a Jeep Renegade, which is a four-door, essentially it's a reskinned four-door Fiat 500. At least I heard that they came off the same line. And there's definitely some styling cues that look very similar, but it's not like a lot of the cars where they just basically take one badge off and put on another. It's a totally different build out. Come on. Yeah, the live stream, I was going to try and do a live stream on Wednesday. Some people were asking for me to do an additional live stream in the middle of the week because Either A, I don't know, either A, they wanted it, or B, they couldn't make it for the Saturday night one. And I get that. And we used to, when we started doing it, we did a Wednesday night live stream. And so I was thinking about doing a Wednesday night live stream. But then I think somebody told me that VCG does on a regular Wednesday night live stream. And I know a lot of our viewers watch, their stuff also. And I was trying to do it earlier so that we would, the guys on the East Coast could watch as well. But then, VCG is East Coast, so I didn't want to have our audience be having to make a decision about who they're going to watch. So then I was thinking about doing it on Tuesday. Then I figured, you know what? We're driving today, and a lot of you guys like joining us for the trip cross country. It's still owned by Fiat. It is still owned by Fiat. Does that make it as fast as a Ferrari? Wait, they don't own Ferrari anymore, do they? They spun that off. Or was it Lamborghini? They owned one of them. The Thinkware 770. What's a Thinkware 7070? Thinkware. Born in Inglewood. Yeah. I was always told that Inglewood was not very nice, but the few times I've been to Inglewood, it seemed pretty nice to me. Not that I've been all through Inglewood, so no expert. Oh, look at the yucca trees blooming. I gotta say, this drive at least is not as bad as the drive through Baker or Bakersfield. Parking camera. You mean like a dash cam? That reminds me, I'm going to have another video coming up of all the companies that try to screw with YouTubers and get, forced or faked reviews. I think I've got 3 companies so far now, probably 5, that have said, like, we want to work with you and have you review our product, but you need to send us a whatchamacallit, or you need to send us the video before you post it for us to approve. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. They're like, okay, well, we're not going to do it then. And I'm like, that's pretty shady. But the one company that I dealt with recently, and this is pretty common for these gadget companies, is they want to get the product in your hands, but it costs them so much money to ship if they're shipping it directly out of their own stock, that what they do is they say, order the product from Amazon, and then we'll just send you via PayPal the money to cover the cost. That way we can get you the product for free. We don't have to pay the exorbitant shipping to send it from China, and you can get it sooner. And that's pretty standard operating procedure. Well, this company said they wanted me to do a review of dash cams. I hadn't done any dash cam reviews, but a lot of guys have been asking me, because I've done a lot with dash cams. I was an early adopter into the dash cam arena, and I understand a lot of the technology and how they get used and everything. And so guys have been asking me to review dash cams. So when this company said, hey, we'd like you to look at this dash cam, I said, sure, I'd love to do that. And so they said, well, just order it and we'll reimburse you. And I said, okay, I can do that. And so when I ordered it, I got the package, and I sent them an email saying, okay, I got the package. I need to be, send me the reimbursement. Then they said, well, you need to do the video and post the video. Once the video is posted, then we'll send you the money. No, because that's the same thing where people are like, well, we didn't like the video, so you need to take the video down. And I've had, early on, I had companies do this. And I'm like, no, that's not how this works. You said if I ordered it, you would reimburse me, and then I would do the review. I'm not going to do the review, with you dangling, a reimbursement of this over my head, because that's you trying to influence my what I don't need you sitting there going, well, let me get over here. Coast. There we go. 13 people still on board. Yeah, looks like we lost most of you. I should have warned you guys. We always lose signal right there. It's just one of those things. All right. And we're traveling again. Anyway. Are we almost to Baker? This feels like Baker. My range says 41 miles. How's my range says 40? It's got to be because I'm at an angle. Going down. Elevation 3,000 feet and descending rapidly. Come on, people. You gonna be able to pass him there, Doc? So, driving a Ram 1500, I'm a member of a couple Ram user groups on Facebook, and at least once a week somebody posts a Ram something. Come on. Kia in front of me has no gumption. Oh, they're from New Mexico. What do you expect? Probably from Santa Fe. It's so weird that New Mexico, despite being from in the heart of the Southwest, wedged between Texas and Arizona, has managed to get this kind of hippie vibe going on over there. It's weird. Well, they're just south of Colorado, and Colorado has more than their fair share of the hippiedom as well. Anyway, come on. Almost to Baker. I can't believe the gas mileage we got these past 30-some miles. That's insane. Alright, what kind of truck is this next to me? Is that the new Honda? It is. It's the new Ridgeline. It's too funny. The Honda changed the design on their Ridgeline to make it look more truck-like as opposed to the old design. And I kind of now miss the old Ridgeline design. At least it was unique, right? Not sure how trucky it actually was, or how much a truck like the new one is. Might just be like American cheese isn't really a cheese. He's coming up on the left side here. You should be able to see him right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's the new Honda. That's a four-door too. Are they all? I think they're all four doors. There's Baker ahead of us. At night, you'd be able to see the thermometer because it lights up. And we're going to take a break here. I got to stop and get gas, get some food, and relax. So anyway, for those of you who made it this far in the trip, thank you so much for sticking with me. 2,000 feet. That's 1,000 feet down in the last probably, 3 miles? Oh, yeah, there go my ears popping. All right. Well, I'm gonna cut this off here as we're getting here to Baker, so I can stop and take a break. And after this, I'm probably not gonna. I know last time we fired it back up afterwards for the drive into Barstow and whatnot, but I'm probably not going to because I know between here and there's going to be a lot more areas where the phone's going to cut out. So if I do another one, it'll probably be on the way back tonight. So if you want to see what the drive back into Vegas is, it's going to be late though. It's going to be Pacific time. So try to join me later as I try to make it back to Vegas in one piece. All right, everyone. You guys have a great day. Thanks for staying with me and helping me get drives when I get to talk to you guys. It's better when I have somebody with me, like the wife, who should have come with me. I'm sure you could have had a friend watch the kids for the rest of the day. That's not fair. The little girl, she hurt her knee at the trampoline place the other day, so she wants mommy to be home to help take care of her after she gets out of school. Anyway, that's it for today. Hey, don't forget to check out that Cobalt deal. Those ratcheting wrenches, man, $20 is a steal on those things. So don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, hit that share button, and tell a friend. Take care, all, and as always, shine on.